We're shaking, folks. Back with another reaction. Back with some more Joni Mitchell. Once again, big shout out to Nikola, as well as the very sleepy and liquid stage of matter, Luca. And yeah, we're going to listen to the next tune on Song to a Seagull, 1968, and that is Marcie. I think it's Marcie as a given female name, which is to say, I don't know if I've ever seen this spelling before. Either way, that would be my assumption that it's a female given name, and in that regard, a name and a single word title, it's really tough to get a read on unless it's a very clear mononymic individual where there's no ambiguity as to who it's referencing. So I wonder who Marcie is. I wonder whether we'll get lyrics from her perspective or from another party, and I wonder whether this is a snapshot in time or a story over a longer duration. Either way, let's find out. As Luca, I mentioned that she's in the liquid phase of matter. You're literally going to slip off if you keep doing that. But yes, this is Joni Mitchell. The tune is Marcie, I believe. I should mention, and I don't know if I've said this up to this point, but we're going through a 1968 album, but it is the 2021 remaster. So here we go, Joni Mitchell, Marcie.
Marcie in a coat of flowers stops inside a candy store. Reds are sweet and greens are sour, still no letter at the door. So she'll wash her flower curtains, hang them in the wind to dry, dust her tables with his shirt and wave another day goodbye. Marcie's faucet needs a plumber, Marcie's sorrow needs a man. Red is autumn, green is summer, greens are turning and the sand all along the ocean beaches stares up empty at the sky. Marcie buys a bag of peaches, stops a postman passing by, and summer goes, falls to the sidewalk like string and brown paper. Winter blows up from the river, there's no one to take her to the sea.
Landing that softly.
Marcie dresses warm, it's snowing, takes a yellow cab uptown. Red is stop and green's for going, sees a show and rides back down. Down along the Hudson River, past the shipyards in the cold, still no letters being delivered, still the winter days unfold like magazines fading in dusty gray attics, and sailors make a dream back to summer, and hear how he tells her, wait for me. she had to say. Someone thought they saw her Sunday, window shopping in the rain. Someone heard she bought a one-way ticket and went west again.
Definitely not a snapshot. That was a multifaceted story, different chapters. I mean, at first we were getting a description of her house and the curtains and the leaky faucet, and then I mean, there were like, again, multiple phases, and then it felt like whatchamacallit, at first it was like we were getting references in the first person, and then eventually, again, we're getting references in the third person to Marcie. So I do wonder if there are multiple characters at play, if it's, the way in which sometimes we reference ourselves, from a external perspective, or that's how we think about things. But yeah, ultimately it sounds like she eventually leaves, and people don't really know where she went, and there's rumors about people seeing her somewhere, but it sounds like those are maybe unsubstantiated, or at least no better than hearsay. That part did make me think about that. I mentioned this in other reactions. I don't know why I always keep coming back to it, but Ursula Le Guin, the ones who walked away from Omelas, and at the end it's like, the people who leave, whether young or old, no one knows where they go, and they never come back. But yeah, I'm curious to know exactly what's up with Marcie, and whether, again, the narrator is Marcie, or whether there really are multiple characters at play. And yeah, I mean, it's just like some of the specificity of some of the lines. It's it's really like poetic stuff, and the like fading magazines up in an attic, and just like little lyrical touches like that are, again, they're very evocative, and they immediately make me think of not only very visual references, but I don't know, like some of the best music and art, and this happens with film and TV shows with me too. Like, I can feel nostalgic for things that I've never really experienced myself directly, or like time periods or places that I've never been. And some of the visual references she was laying out lyrically, it's like, man, that feels so familiar, even though like I don't think I've ever been in an attic where I've seen a bunch of old magazines kind of fading because they're like maybe partially in the sunlight, and so they just sat there, and every day half of the cover gets so it ends up looking like tattered and old, and the color is distorted. I don't think I've ever had that experience, but I hear a line like that, and it's like, man, like I feel like I've been there, like I feel like I know that. So I suppose that's a testament to good art. And again, her voice, some different flavors, some more intense, and then extensions like you wouldn't believe, and then at the end of the extension, sometimes at the end of a long extension, you can tell like the way it sort of drops off a cliff because they really push it as far as they can go, and they just have to immediately take in breath. But she would do those like 20 something second extensions, and it would land like soft as a pillow and just dissipate. So yeah, really cool like breath control and vocal work. So shout out to Joni, shout out to Nikola once again for sharing this, shout out to Mark and others who've already commented on the first few. Looking forward to hearing what people have to say about this, and hearing more about this multi-part narrative that I did catch bits and pieces of, but I'm not sure of how it all connects together in terms of the story in time. In any case, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. Peace.